In this video, we are going to do a deep dive into the Dataverse connector triggers. There's 4 triggers that are available to you in Dataverse. 3 are with the current Dataverse connector. 1 is only available in the Dataverse Legacy connector. Now, this information that I'm presenting here will also be information that you'll see if you're at the Power Platform Conference or User Group Summit. I'm presenting this session at both of those places. I thought it would be fun to give you a little test drive of the type of content we're going to do. So, no further ado, here is our first trigger using the Dataverse connector. It is when a flow step is run from a business process flow. This is an instant cloud flow, so it only works with that type. You'll have to update your business process flow to make sure that you add a flow step with all of your flow details in there. So in the example that I'm going to show you on the next slide, we're going to start approval from a business process flow. So this demo is going to walk through everything you need to do. Obviously, we start in a solution file. You're going to create a new automation. We're selecting Instant Cloud Flow, and we pick that trigger we talked about. Then we're going to come in here and we're going to look for our first action, which will also be in Dataverse. So you're going to scroll down till you find that Get a Row ID. What's important here is the step that you pick. So first, pick your table name. In this example, it's Opportunity. In Row ID, we're going to click this Add Dynamic Content. And what we're looking for is this Business Process Flow Stage Table Row ID. That is actually just going to get the details from the record where it was triggered. Now in this specific example, we're looking at approvals. So we're going to start and wait for an approval. You can see we mapped all the details. Then we have to make sure that we come over and in our business process flow, add that flow step right here, give it a display name, and then we're going to have to select a flow. So there's only one here because I'm doing this in a demo environment. Now finally the user experience, the user clicks run flow. The first time you do it, you're going to see this log into flow, but otherwise it's as simple as that. You hit continue. That's the only time you're going to have to do that. And then our flow runs and everything works pretty nicely. So that's what that trigger does and what it looks like on the front end. Trigger number 2, when a row is added, I joined that together. When a row is added, modified, or deleted. My most used trigger in Dataverse. So this is going to start a flow anytime a record is added or modified, updated, or removed from Dynamics 365. You'll configure that. You can use this in both scheduled and automated cloud flows. The example we have here is when a new lead is assigned, send a Teams channel message using the flow bot. You also see I'm referring to a Power Automate starter kit. You have to attend my session if you want to get that. It'll be cool though. So our third one here is when an action is performed. This one is far more technical than the others. I have never used this. Developers will definitely use this. So when you pull this trigger in, there are 4 things that you're going to configure. The catalog. It's all CXP Insights Application Platform, Microsoft Dataverse Common, or a custom value. Then you're going to pick your category, which will be based upon what you selected in catalog above. Third, you will select your table name, again, based on that category selection, and then your action name. So a lot of people will use this in conjunction with the plugin registration tool for event-driven actions. And a lot of examples that I've seen in the community are using this in conjunction with the Dataverse action, perform a bound action, or perform an unbound action. And our 4th trigger is when a row is selected. This one is Dataverse Legacy right now. This is the one really big use case where you would want to utilize Dataverse Legacy connector instead of Dataverse. This will allow you to trigger a flow when a row is selected from the flow menu in the command bar in Dynamics 365. So you have to use this with Instant Cloud Flow. Little example here is select an account in Dynamics 365 and send them an email asking them for a renewal. So let's take a look at this. So you'll come to New, Automation, and again, you're going to select Instant Cloud Flow. Then you're going to give it a name if you would like. Otherwise, you're going to look for that Dataverse Legacy Connect trigger right there. So here we are selecting it, naming it, and then we're going to create the flow. This used to be an on-demand workflow, if any of you are old school CRMers, but it's essentially the same thing. So select your environment. This is another thing that is unique to the Legacy connector, and then your table. Then we're going to go in, we're going to select our first action. This one's going to be really simple. It's just going to be send an email. We're using the Office 365 Outlook connector. Side note, that is the Outlook connector of choice if you're using it for a business. Outlook.com doesn't have nearly the breadth of actions and triggers. So then we're just going to add some dynamic content from our prior step to get details about the row that was selected. And finally, we'll show you what this looks like on the front end for the user. So again, this is very similar to on-demand workflows. So you select flow, you select the flow that we just created, and then again, this looks a lot like that first one we saw where we were going to connect into Teams for the first time. So it was as simple as that. We sent the email by using the on-demand workflow, if you will. So that, my friends, is our deep dive into the Dataverse connector. 4 triggers available for you. If you like this, stay tuned for more and make sure that you attend Power Platform Conference and/or User Group Summit, and you can see a full 1-hour session about this and so much more.